We got a brand new look at Assassin's Creed Mirage, but also a new leak that reveals good and bad news about future Assassin's Creed titles. So I want to go over that and look at some hints and setups that you maybe saw as well while playing the new Assassin's Creed Valhalla crossover content. Like, there's a ton to go over. Of course, if you are curious about the future of Assassin's Creed, then leaving a like would really support the channel. Subscribe for everything on the franchise, and let's go. But first, the sponsor of this video, Blacktail, an action game where you will use your bow and magic spells to fight off insects and many other creatures in open spaces. Now you have to be careful, as arrows and other items have to be crafted from resources that you find in the world, so it's smart to go in prepared when challenging the bosses and the other enemies that roam this magical forest. Although magical forest, there are more locations to explore with many secrets and NPCs you can choose to either help or trick, and this will also impact your light or dark side, which will unlock different types of witchcraft. Also simple interactions in the world, like killing the bird that is trapped to get its feathers to craft arrows, or free it, which would then obviously be the light choice. I was also surprised by how challenging the game can be, so you have to be on your toes. Totally check Blacktail out via the special link in the video description, it would support the channel as well. And now let's get back into it. So let's start with the Mirage info, because it turns out that the game has been delayed yet again. So while Ubisoft always shared a 2023 window after the reveal last September, we know from Jason Schreier that Mirage, here referred to as the next Assassin's Creed title, was pushed from February 2023 to spring. And then he later specifies that it would be May or June. So this was a few months back. Now, in December 2022, it's noted that Assassin's Creed Mirage is aiming to release in August 2023, so that would be another 3 to 4 month delay. Now, I personally would not be surprised if they push it even further to October or November, which of course the common release window for Assassin's Creed titles, but that also depends on the other games that Ubisoft has planned for that fall 2023 window. Now, luckily, they did not want to end the year without a small update on Mirage, so they shared this new image, which of course a tribute to the first game. They note it's an in-game wallpaper, so maybe made with the photo mode that we know will be in the game. Like, if this is really an in-game shot, then it looks amazing. We see quite a lot of people on the street as well, but yeah, I'm ready for gameplay, and some people have a theory on when that might be. I will touch on that a little later, but first, something interesting. So in a recent Valhalla video, I showed you brand new concept art for Mirage that Ubisoft Bordeaux, the lead studio on the game, shared in a behind the scenes video, but they now changed that video. Like, if we look at the version that they've uploaded right now, we see that they started working on Mirage in April 2021, so just before they finished the Druids DLC, and they show images that we've already seen before. While the previous, now deleted version had completely new piece of concept art that you see right here. So I'm curious why they changed it. Luckily, we downloaded the previous version as well, and I think these artworks looked awesome, like one from the ritual we will do at the start of the game to become an assassin apprentice, and I think this is him with another hidden one. This might be Russian, his mentor of course, and I'm not sure if you played the crossover mission that they added to Valhalla. You can start it over here on the map in your settlement, but I do think you have to advance the game quite a bit before you can do it. And here we'll see Russian use the red smoke bomb that we can of course do as Basim in Mirage as well. You get a very cool mentor of Alamut rope from completing the quest, but I also think there's a hint for something that might happen in the next game. Because at one point, Russian asks how Eivor got the hidden blade, so it's noted that they got it from their brother. And then Eivor asks, how did you get yours? And she says she reclaimed it after long absence. The years without it were the hardest I've known. So maybe at the end of Mirage, something happens that caused her to lose her hidden blade, because this moment in Valhalla takes place like 10 to 15 years after Mirage. It could be that Basim, of course, slowly becomes Loki, so disobeys orders, and then she will be held responsible as she was the one who picked him off the streets. Just speculation, of course, it could totally be something else, as it seemed that people were not fully aware of Basim's transformation until much later. So your theories are more than welcome in the comments down below. I thought it was still interesting, and the last chapter that of course was also added to Valhalla recently also creates an interesting setup for Mirage. So more on that in a moment, because it does contain spoilers for that mission. First, let's go back to the leak from Tom Henderson with info regarding the real big mainline titles after Mirage, saying that sources have said that Red should release in 2024 with Hexe in 2026. But due to Red's current issues, it's not clear if those dates could be pushed back. We would not be surprised if Red goes to 2025. So that last part is of course speculation. I would be shocked, like looking at the state that Valhalla launched in, I can see them try to do everything to get Red finished for the holiday 2024 period. But yeah, according to Tom Henderson, there are some troubles with the development of this Japanese RPG game made by the Odyssey team. The article does not mention any specifics, but they do link to a piece from Gamer.com where it's noted that developers don't want to work on Assassin's Creed Red because of creative director Jonathan Dumont's abuse allegations. It's of course hard to know from the outside what's going on inside the studio, but it does suck to hear that there seems to be this culture of fear, at least in the past, at Ubisoft Quebec, fostered by Jonathan. While on the other hand, Tom Henderson mentions that Assassin's Creed Hexe, which seems to be set during the witch trials in Europe, has reportedly been received with overwhelming positivity during its proof of concept stages, and could start full production soon. So this being made by the Origins and Valhalla team, and if they start full production now, it means that the game will be in development for more than 4 years when it releases at the end of 2026. Which has only happened for Unity and Origins in the past. And of course both games were quite a jump and change compared to previous releases, and they already said that Hexe should be something completely different as well. Darby McDavid, who was the lead writer on Revelations, Black Flag and Valhalla, left Ubisoft after Valhalla but then came back and is now working as a narrative director on Hexe. Well, he said during a recent Reddit AMA that he will definitely be sticking around for a long time to see the next batch of games to completion. I'm more excited than I've ever been for the future of the franchise, which I think says a lot, and yeah, makes me more excited as well. Now, Darby was also involved with the last chapter that we recently saw for Valhalla, and I think there's a setup there for Mirage. So spoilers for that mission, if you haven't finished it yet. You can also skip ahead in the timestamps if you want for my closing thoughts. Okay, you're still here? Well, we see William Miles talk to Basim at the end of the quest, with William saying that if they are to work together, there's something he wants first. And then when Basim gets out of the Animus, he takes a blood sample, probably for William, so high chance William will be the Animus user in Assassin's Creed Mirage. Now we also see that the estimated sequencing time is 29 days, 3 hours and 4 minutes, and people are speculating that this is tied to some sort of Mirage announcement, maybe a gameplay trailer, but I find that hard to believe because the time in this cutscene is always the same if you play it now, 2 weeks, a month from now, or around that early launch on November 29th, when the content was of course supposed to release on December 6th. Like if it was a countdown, they would find a way to have it actually count down in the game as well, but I don't think it's that, although I would love to see of course a gameplay trailer for Mirage. If I had to bet though, I think they will go dark till maybe May, or even wait till E3 before we see a proper gameplay reveal and then a launch a few months later. But then I don't know what the timer in the game means. Like, your theories are of course more than welcome in the comments down below. Gotta be honest, kinda worried about the Red situation. Having that pushed to 2025 would mean a long time without a big Assassin's Creed RPG, but overall I'm totally still optimistic about the future. Still think the Infinity idea, where everything is more connected with a coherent modern day and an easy way to access all the content, should be great, which should then also include a standalone multiplayer game by For Honor veterans that Ubisoft now officially confirmed, and it seems to include multiple settings and characters from different games. Like, when we know more about that, Mirage and other future titles, I will of course let you know here, so be sure you are subscribed to not miss anything. I want to thank Blacktail for sponsoring the video, helps me improve the channel. A like on the video would really help me out, and check out my previous video on brand new items that were added to Valhalla that are kinda crazy. You can watch it by clicking on the screen. I will speak to you soon, goodbye.